he'll lynch you, but he did, and he laughs.
Hi everybody, Russ and the West End Network. Hope you're all safe and well, my friends. If you're new in here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a bloody good subscribe. Why don't you? Happy Thursday. We're getting through the week, aren't we? Slowly but surely we're getting there. It's taking the time. It's taking the time, to be honest, but we are getting there. We are getting there. Slowly but surely. If you're new around here, why don't you become a channel member? Why not? Why not? Let me just mark your card for a few things we've got coming up this week. Where is it? Tonight, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. tonight, we have our first, and hopefully a couple, we're going to do this during the summer, Hammer's, ex-Hammer, ex-West Ham player game show nights. Don't need to think of a better name than that. In association with the Iron Supporting Food Bank guys. I'll do a trailer last time because Happy Hammerette asked about what it involves. So let me give you a little video. This is what happened when we did them last year.
Is it the lad who's was one of Harry's signings and am I getting there, Russ?
Mate, you might be.
I know it.
If you know what it is.
His first name?
Marco Boogers.
But Kev, do you reckon it's Marco Boogers, Kev? Let's have a look. Well done, Kev. Bless you, Steve. God bless you. Right.
This is you, Jim. It's got your name on it, this one.
Yeah.
And it stinks to me, this. Just got to get one letter here, and I'm on it.
Yeah.
One letter, and that's it.
That's it.
I reckon.
I'm going to go a K.
Oh, is it a K? Is this going to give it to him? It's a K.
Oh.
That weren't Scott, anyway.
It weren't Scott. No, it weren't Scott. Or Steve. Can we spin it again?
I'm going to have to spin again. I'm going to have to spin again.
Okay.
He's milking it.
Such a milking it. Such a wanker. Right, come on then. You misspell it now.
I'm actually not. I'm devastated. I know I should know it.
Go on then, pick a letter.
But either.
Pick a letter. Go on, Jim.
I'm going a.
Where you going, Jim?
I'm going to M.
M for mother.
No,
I don't know it. I'm a disaster.
No. Look at see Kev moving his chair forward. Kev moving his chair forward.
Am I going to kick myself?
You are.
Yeah, you are. Right, come on, Kev. All right, let's spin the wheel for Kevin. Yeah, 500. Come on in, Kev.
Oh, tell me he's not a goalie.
I'm going for it.
H.
H.
Oh no.
Kev, do you want to guess it?
No. That's a disaster.
Let's see.
That's a disaster.
He's such a dude.
Not only did he take me cup final spot, he took me cup final spot, and I didn't get him on this. He's a double whammy, man.
I know, double whammy, innit? So that's what we've got tonight coming up. As you said, we've got. But hopefully, we should have now. We've got confirmed Frank McAvenny, we've got Crossy, we've got Kevin Keane, and we've got Jonah. So that's going to be a really, really good fun night. So make sure 9 p.m. tonight. It's going to be fun. So as what we try and do every so often, I think Andrew did it earlier this week. I do it today. Is we sort of collate all the latest rumours, just scattergun. Just give you all the latest rumours, all the ones that we haven't necessarily covered, or any developments, any new news that's come up in the last 24, 48 hours, that type of thing. Let's see, we've got the chat very, very quickly. We've got Happy Hammerette. What's the lowdown on the news? Oh, I'll talk about a minute. Driving, so only listening today. Well, you're typing, so you're doing one thing. Richard, hope you're well. Just keep up the latest news. Good on you. Good on Gaz is in the house. Good to see him. Pete's here as well. Frank, how are you doing, man? Haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're well. Paul's only got 10 minutes. Well, you have to go back and listen to it later, mate. because it's going to take more than 10 minutes to get through all this. I tell thee. Everyone's talking to each other. That's good. That's lovely to see. Right, as I said, rumours. And Hammer's headlines tonight won't have any rumours in it. I'm deliberately not doing any rumours of players coming in for Hammer's headlines tonight, so keep an eye out on that. It's all players that we're going to be potentially getting out or maybe including into the squad for the pre-seasons. Smitho, hope you're well, my friend. Hope you are well. Right, let's crack on because I want to get through all of this. So we're going to start with some guys we've spoken about before, actually. Pete's sick and tired. He's sick and tired of them. I am, but I think some people like to listen to them. And there's not much more to talk about at the moment, to be perfectly honest. Although Hammer's headlines tonight, 3 stories, none of them are transfers coming in. I promise thee. Right, so let's start. We're going to talk about Raspadori and Scalamaca as well. But we're going to talk about Raspadori first. Apparently, West Ham have been in contact with Sassuolo. We've spoken about this before, actually, for the attacking duo for both of them, for Raspadori and for Gianluca Scalamaca, to boost their attacking options. According to 90 Minutes, West Ham are targeting the duo to bolster their forward options. They've reportedly made contacts to understand the availability of both players as they look to bring them to London. Raspadori scored 10 goals last season, while Scalamaca contributed with 16 strikes, so 26 goals between the two of them. The latter has been in the news since the season concluded, with links to many clubs. The Italian international was initially touted as a target. Let me just get Scalamaca up. Scalamaca was, what have we got? Where are we? I lost my place now. It was touted potentially as a move to Inter Milan, who have since signed, made a move to re-sign Lukaku, so that's not going to happen. There's no room for Scalamaca to sign for a big club in the window, which could mean, because obviously all the big clubs seem to have got all their big strikers, which mean a move abroad could be on the cards. PSG have also shown some interest in the 23-year-old striker, although West Ham could be an intriguing option for the Italian international. Raspadori plays in a second striker position for his current club, but he's capable of playing up top in a number 9 or out wide on the left-hand side. Let me get Raspadori up. People have likened him to Carlos Tevez a little bit in terms of his sort of the way he terrorises the forwards. What we got here? So obviously, versatility. Moyes likes a versatile player. Could appeal to West Ham, and particularly as he would add depth in more than one position. To that end, West Ham have made contacts with his club to understand what it will take to bring Scalamaca and Raspadori to the London Stadium. They could be open to offloading at least one of their forwards, having signed Augustin Alvarez. But they're both settled and have been recently integrated into Roberto Mancini's Italian side. But a chance to play in the Premier League could be an interesting prospect for the duo. Although any move would obviously require West Ham to make an appealing proposal to the Serie A side. So in terms of what I'm thinking about, so Raspadori, in terms of the old Russ Rumour rating, I've given it a 7 out of 10 because I can see a player like this on several different positions. Moyes likes it. Scalamaca, he's got that sort of Arnautovic look about him. Maybe it's the tattoos. Maybe I'm just being biased with the tattoos. So I put him down as, so I could see one of them potentially. I can't see both, obviously, but one of them for sure. So that would be interesting in terms of seeing how they what goes through with them. We're going to talk about Diego. We're going to talk about Giovanni Simeone in a tick. Let's get some have a look at some of these comments. Delighted with Side Agreed. Everyone has said nice things about young lady. Indeed, he comes across as a really nice bloke as well, doesn't he, on the interviews? Other clubs do business on the quiet, but we don't. We just don't. Good album, Rumours. It is a good album. Broja is a dream for me. We'll talk about Broja in a bit, actually. There's a little bit of a development in Broja in terms of what we've seen. Anyone else think Potato Salad Man will be off? We'll talk about that at 5 o'clock tonight. Let's hope we sign Raspadori and he ain't a raspberry. Very good. Bring me Broja, says Aaron. Russ, do we pick up any money from the sale? I don't think we do. I think that was communicated, I believe, but don't quote me. I don't think we do have a sell-on clause on that. I don't know. And even if we do, I think it'd be about 5 or 6 million quid in it. He's a shit player, isn't he, Haller? Shit player, isn't it? He's absolutely smashed it for Ajax and got all the Champions League records for goal scorers and now he's going back to Borussia Dortmund. who ain't a bad side, but he's shit, isn't he? Let's get Broja, great player. Helen isn't a unshaven Alvin on the screen. Good point. I don't see Phillips or Raphinha signing. We'll talk about that in a tick. Right, let's move on to Giovanni Simeone. We've spoken about before. Now, apparently, according to Home du Match, they claim wrong one. Sorry, according to 90 Minutes, West Ham are paying close attention to the Hellas Verona striker. Obviously, son of Diego Simeone, 17 goals, 6 assists for Serie A last season. He's now contracted to the Serie A club until 2026. I believe they took the option. He was on loan from Cagliari, and they took the option for him at the end of the summer. I think it was ridiculous, something like 10 million quid, absolute bargain. However, it's fair to say that West Ham do get linked to our fair share of strikers, to be fair. And he joins a long list. But I think Hellas Verona are looking at the potential of flipping him and just seeing what happens. See if they can double their money on him. He's in the prime of his career and has amassed a good attacking output. Was it 17 goals and 6 assists, 23 goal involvements last season. And Verona finished 9th. They had a really good season. He may be looking for a move, given his age and ability. Maybe because he's found this streak of form, looking at maybe moving away. I mean, Hellas Verona had a great time, but it was on loan. So we'll see. In terms of my Rusty Rumour rating, I'm giving him a 7 out of 10 because I like this guy. He knows the back of the net, and I know people say, "Oh, it's a Serie A. It's not the Premier League." Doesn't matter in my opinion. Doesn't matter. You have to have a knack of scoring. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with him. Let's have a quick look in the comments quickly. Always paying close attention. Always. Simeone will be good. He's a raving nutter like his old man. He certainly is. Best get cash instead of voucher just in case. Don't just go. In terms of the Haller deal, I get that. I like the look of midfield in the final. We're not talking about that today because Anton did it the other day. Better than his dad, dipped in form, then recovered. Best sort Areola, seeing as Pope is going elsewhere. I think the fact that Pope looks like he's going to Newcastle, the fact that Sam Johnson is signing for Crystal Palace means we have to really sign him now, isn't it? Because there's no one else out there unless we've got another one under the hood. But I don't think so. I think we'll be confirming Areola as soon as wages. I think that's personal terms that are said to be agreed. But I think we've got until I don't know when the actual cut-off point is for our £11 million. It might be the end of this month. I don't know. It could be. Serie A to Premier isn't always the best transfer unless you're Ronaldo. Indeed, look at Anderson, for example. Simeone is hard-working, Moyes type. He is. He's a terror. He doesn't let up, and I like players like that. Pope going Newcastle. Pete, let's sign Samba in goal from. No. I mean, even there. I mean, look at Forest. Forest potentially getting Dean Henderson for Man United. That's an absolutely stonking deal for them. Let's move on and talk about some more transfers. Let's talk about some people we've never heard of. We like talking about players we've never heard of. Now, according to Home du Match, West Ham and Newcastle have sent scouts to Brazil this summer to watch 2 players specifically. In the form of Sao Paulo's Igor Gomes and Palmeiras' Danilo. Now, in terms of Danilo, we were linked to. I think Arsenal were linked to him as well in this last year, if not the January transfer window. But in terms of Gomez, he's 23, an attacking midfielder, can play anywhere in midfield. He can play as an anchor, he can play as a box to box, he can play as a 10, he can play out wide. He's been nicknamed the new Kaka. The new Kaka. A player Spurs wanted to sign last summer, apparently. And as I said, the other one is Danilo, who is a slightly more recognisable name, having been linked with a move to England. I think Arsenal, I believe, if I remember correctly, were linked with him. He's just been called up to the Brazilian national side. At 21, he's already played 112 times for Palmeiras in the holding midfield role. Reports claim that both West Ham and Arsenal are interested in the £21 million rated star. He has a contract with the Brazilian Serie A side in terms of Palmeiras until December 2026, meaning Palmeiras are going to keep him for some time unless they sell him. Both players look like exceptional talents. I don't really know much about Gomez. I know more about Danilo. He's a very, very good player. Gomez's versatility is a very, very valuable commodity. It's something that Moyes would see a lot in. And would be an excellent addition to any Premier League side, I think, because of the fact he can play in about 6 different positions. Certainly, none of have obviously played in the European competitions as well, because obviously both have been in native Brazil since birth, really. I mean, Danilo is definitely a top talent. He's going to be a breakout star. I think it was Edu, the Arsenal sporting director, was very keen on him. He obviously has a very good knowledge of Brazilian football, so he's done the scouting for us. Really, clearly thinks he's ready for the Premier League. Time will tell if the scouting missions has been successful, but we'll see what happens. I mean, in terms of the old Rusty Rumour Racing, they're not particularly high for these guys, because I mean I can see he's got a bit of. It's got a bit of Pablo Fornals about him, really, in terms of the fact he can play in about half different positions. And maybe more is like, I don't know. But being called the new Kaka, I like that. I give him 5 out of 10. And Danilo, again, very, very strong player, very, very good player, and will be a future star, that's for sure, in the Brazilian national side. I've put 6 out of 10. I could just see a little bit more, because a little bit more pedigree there. And so... particularly with the Arsenal links as well. Right, let's have a quick look. Let's have a look, see what we've got. What's wrong with Sam? I just don't like him as a goalkeeper. I think he's... I don't, because we want someone to go in and be number one. I don't think Samba would be our number one goalkeeper. Good backup. I think it'd be a good backup for Fabianski, but the idea is we need a number one, so I'm pretty sure it's Ariola, and he'll be on a 5-year deal. Why is always we're so bad with getting transfers done? I don't know, Helen. I think maybe, to be honest, I think we sit in this West Ham bubble as well. So for me, we're in this West Ham bubble, and we assume that no other clubs have the same issues. They probably do, and they're probably fans is like, oh, Margaret's on this, but we don't talk about that because we don't know about that. We only know within our own little bubble. And yeah, sometimes some teams get it done a little bit quicker. Don't know. Let's not let this be another 2014 Neymar. Good point, Smitho. Good point. We already have enough Kaka players. Very good, Pete. Rusty's worried that if we Samba, we have to play Samba music and not the Crazy Frog. Unbelievable. What we got here? What's the latest on Broja? We're going to talk about their tick. Raphinha and Phillips definitely ain't happening. A combined total of £140 million. We haven't got that. We've got about 120, we reckon, left in the bank. So we say, Russ, if you were a Brazilian player, what would you be? Russaldinho. El Presidente. That was my nickname when I used to play football. We're going to talk about the boy from Middlesbrough as well in a minute. Russ loves a Brazilian, as he has Minge. Always about the Brazilian. What about Roberto? Roberto was Spanish. Let's talk about Roberto Carlos, of course. Any Bazooka Joe transfers rumoured? Bazooka Joe. I don't know what you mean. What's Bazooka Joe anyway? Let's move on. We're going to rattle through these because I just want to have a chat with you guys and see what you want to say about transfers and stuff. Let's talk about Broja, because everyone's talking about Broja. We don't talk about Broja, but we do today. Apparently, according to an article, I believe it was in the Independent today, might be in the Telegraph, Armando Broja is open to joining West Ham this summer. I mean, he claims that West Ham and Leeds want the Chelsea striker. He's open to it, apparently. Obviously, he spent last season on loan at Southampton, scoring 11 goals in 34 games, after scoring 11 goals in 34 games for Vitas Arnhem as well. He showed good promise. He only scored 6 times in 32 appearances, but for a relatively poor and a relatively inconsistent Southampton side. Obviously, he's heading back to Chelsea now. Seems unlikely that he'll have regular first team football. Obviously, Lukaku's gone. He's going to Inter Milan on, I think, initially on a loan. But they'll be looking to bring in a big striker, I assume. So that will mean his chances will decrease. So they may loan or even sell Broja in the summer, and obviously there's plenty of takers, including us. But reports on Tuesday night suggest that obviously West Ham were in talks with Chelsea over a deal. I think X said in the next couple of days we're going to put a bid through about 30 million quid. Also, it's claimed that Leeds, Everton, and Wolves are also looking at him as well. So we do face a little bit of a battle, but I wouldn't across those teams. I reckon we could outdo them teams. But the Express claim that Broja is open to joining West Ham and will listen to any offers from the Hammers. He's also open to stay at Chelsea, but he's obviously seemingly attracted by West Ham and the West Ham project. So we'll see. I think out of all of our striker targets, I think this is the most likely, in my opinion. So I've given him an 8 out of 10. I think we'll end up getting him. But when, I do not know. Bazooka Joe was I don't know. Lukaku plays with a pair of Timberlands on. We'll surely get over Leeds. Yeah, I mean, I think you look at the teams, is other teams he's interested in him. Everton, Leeds, Wolves, we can offer European football and a bigger stadium as well. And clearly with signings like Aguerd and say if we get Areola in the door, maybe we get a Lewis Potter. There's no update about Lewis Potter or anything like that. But, for a young player, he's seen how Bowen's progressed from being a championship player into the first team, into the English squad. Obviously, he's Albanian international already, but still you can see progression there. And he knows that Antonio is in his last legs. Although, as I assume, I think next season you'll still see quite a bit of him. What we got here? We're going to talk about Sasha in a minute. If Broja stays at Chelsea, just keep the bench warm. Indeed. Murdoch says not close to stage. Well, we'll talk about that in a tick, Victor. Give us what happened, and I think it's all bollocks, but we'll see. But Broja, I think I could see that happening. I could see that happening more than any of them. I think, to be honest, probably the most likely out of all of these. I'll be honest, or one of the most likely. There's another one I think could happen. Right, let's move on. Another Brazilian from Italy. So that's 3 Brazilians we've been linked with in terms of, and maybe we'll talk about Raphinha as well. So that's 4 Brazilians we're going to be linked with this. Haven't we learnt from Felipe Anderson? Anyway, so Beto. West Ham are allegedly keen to sign the powerful Udinese striker Beto. Or Beto, in the summer transfer window. It's according to a report from 90 Minutes, who claim Rob Newman has scouted the 6'4" striker. They reckon that the giant Portuguese, he's Portuguese, he's not Brazilian. The giant Portuguese centre forward is firmly on West Ham's radar this summer, and believe that the Udinese frontman would be a very good signing for West Ham. He's got Haller vibes about him. Like, I've been watching a few of his. A bit of a clip. Didn't Haller do that as well? No, that was Diop does that, doesn't he? That sort of that thing that he's doing there, the fingers. I can't do it. I've got sausage fingers. But he's got a little bit about the Haller about him, but that might be a bad thing. I mean, look at Haller. I think if he's the right fit into a system, then yeah. I mean, Broja's a big lad as well, 6'2", 6'3", something like that. Apparently, Beto certainly possesses a lot of good attributes that Moyes looks for in a striker, hence the recommendation from Rob Newman, apparently. Get Football News in Italy claims that Beto joined Udinese permanently this summer for around 10 million euros, 8.4 million, having spent the last season on loan with the Italian outfit. Similar to Simeone, and apparently that the Udinese, similar to Hellas Verona, are looking to maybe flip him and make a quick buck, basically. He bagged 11 goals in 29 games for Udinese last season. Given his height, he's obviously very strong in the air, but has a decent first touch, and he's a very good finisher. Interesting. I can't. I mean, I've put a 4 out of 10. Can't see it happening. I think it's added to a long list of names, to be honest. It does gives me a bit of Haller vibes, to be honest. How does Lewis Potter compare to Bowen with regards to games and ratios? Similar, but obviously Lewis can play on the left. Is he left-footed? I think he's left-footed, yeah. And Bowen on the right. So, I mean, they're very similar trajectories from in terms of getting into the Hull side. Obviously, Lewis Potter got into the under-23 side this season, under-21s rather, England under-21s, where Bowen got into the full England squad. So it's sort of, it's similar paths. Good evening, Jazza. Good afternoon. How optimistic are you feeling? 1 to 10, do you believe? I do. I believe it's there. Whether it's spent is a different thing. Optimistic, I'm going to put a 7. But you know me, I'm a half glass full type guy. You know me, mate. So we'll see. Matuku Frederick, we should actually get Raphinha and Richarlison and offload Werner and Pulisic. So obviously you're a Chelsea fan. Good on you. Hope you're well, my friend. Had potential. Shame he just couldn't perform for us. First year was great. First season, Anderson was brilliant. Second season, not so much. We can still go for Rice. Don't think so. Not this year, mate. Hallavi's pass indeed. Lipe Anderson was always shy. Just got lucky at the start. I don't know. I thought he was a good player first season. It was first season wonder. We've had a lot of them. Look at Sebastian Schemmel. Look at my mate Seb. First season, brilliant. Ended up being hammer of the year. Second season was shit. If all goes to plan, it'll be a very big one. Next season will be a very big one. I think next season's going to be a weird season, Jay. With the way the World Cup's bang in the middle as well. It's going to be a strange season. And you're going to have these... It's almost like two half seasons, idiot. But it's going to be like almost like sort of August and November. And who's winning the... Because then afterwards you're going to have people who get injured at the World Cup. You have the transfer window as well. Some people may perform in the World Cup who we've never heard of. So you're going to get these. It's going to be a weird season. Weird season. Cumberland sausage fingers. Oh yes. Out of all striker targets, Broja's the highest ceiling for potential. I agree. Try saying trajectories after a few sherbets. Indeed. Spurs have a habit of shit midfielders who start off well. They do. Harry Winks. Remember the one who ended up on Big Brother? Jamie O'Hara. Who would pay 25 for Winks having a laugh? England international. He's got the homegrown England quota. I mean, Everton. Wouldn't be surprised if Southampton have a look at him and then flip JWP maybe. Who knows? So when Moyes says he wants 6 more players, is that including replacements for our outgoings? I don't know. I think 6 players from now. So I think we'll end up being +2, won't we? But also we're talking about a couple of the youth team players. Reporting The Athletic said these guys are going to get a push into in pre-seasons. So there'll be some of them as well. Who's going, mate? I'd love to. Well, keep an eye out for you. Russ, are we out the race to sign Lingard? Apparently so, but who knows? I think we'll never be out of the race. I think if he doesn't find anyone and he ends up, I think Moisey would always welcome him in, but I think we're not going to pursue it, but who knows. I like Mohamed Bayo could play, yeah. Ariella be next for the door, I totally agree. Jamie Hyder, he did end up with Billericay. Didn't he manage him as well, I think, as well. Thoughts on JWP? Would love him at West Ham. Would love him. Because I think with Cresswell's, deliveries, they'll be coming less and less next season. And then the following season, they'll be I think he'll have one more season with us, and I reckon he'll go. JWP, top goal scorer at Southampton, 11 goals. Mental. Biosum would be easy. H on that. Bio, indeed. Do we go for one of the Watford players and Lewis Potter? Surely not. I think there's lots of options in various positions, and I think a lot of players can play in a number of positions. So Lewis Potter, I could see being our left winger, but then I'm going to talk about a winger in a minute, a left winger in a tick. Or does he play left wing or right wing? I think he can play both sides. So I think he can play either sides. So yeah, Dennis Sarr. I mean, Dennis is going to be quiet now. The Sarr one seems to have gone up a little bit, but we need lots. We need lots of reinforcements. I like Bio, but don't want to pay more than 20 million. Indeed. Do you know when the Luton pre-season? No idea at all about when those come, mate. Paul Ross is the worst. Paul Ross is a big West Ham fan. Going to try and get Rossi on. I won't bother now. All the chat about Keane Lewis Potter seems to have gone a bit quiet. Reckon he might be priced out. Don't say the chairman. Didn't the chairman say it would take 30 million? Yeah, but chairman always say that. And you won't pay £30 million for him. I can see him playing a similar amount, maybe slightly more because a couple of years down the line to what we paid for Bowen, in all honesty. Right, let's move on. Let's go to our next one. Where are we? Let's go to our next one. Let's do one of them. That's flashy, isn't it? Let's talk about Jones. What is it? What's his name? Isaiah Jones. Isaiah Jones from Middlesbrough. Someone mentioned it in the chat already. Apparently, West Ham are looking to sign, and this was actually in a report from the Athletic where they talks about Lewis Potter as well. So it was these two Championship players we were looking at. One was Lewis Potter, but we've spoken about him quite a lot. But I thought Isaiah Jones I'd throw under your nose. Apparently, want to sign the talented Middlesbrough winger Isaiah Jones in the summer after he terrorised Tottenham last season. We like that. You terrorise Tottenham, you're in. That's according to a report from The Athletic, who claim that the 22-year-old Lambeth-born attacker is firmly on the radar of West Ham boss David Moyes this summer. The article reckons that West Ham are keen to bring him back to London from Middlesbrough this summer. I think going back and looking at some of his stuff, he wasn't really on my radar, so to speak, when I was looking at sort of my 5 Championship players, but he should have been, to be honest. That game against Tottenham in the FA Cup, would stand out as a great game for him. He was a key factor behind that win, in my opinion. He was involved in 10 goal involvements in 42 games, Championship games for Middlesbrough last season. He's a right winger by trade, but can play right. But he can also play right back, but also can play on both wings as well. So he's a right winger, can play right back, but can play on the left as well. So again, lots of ways we can move things around, which is great for us. He can operate, as I said, both wings, very, very quick. This is the thing I think we desperately need, particularly with Fredericks going. We need some pace, exceptional dribbling ability, very strong, and that display against Tottenham shows he can play, in the Premier League. Really, he can match them. Maybe about 15 million this summer, perhaps. I think that's good value if we get him. Bringing him back to London could be a fabulous bit of business. So for me, Rusty rating of 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Could see that one happening. Let's have a look what we got. So it's clear we targeted Aguerd, Areola, but do you think Moyes wants a left back? There's no clear-cut target. There isn't, I don't think. And I think there's options. And spoke about Ram. We spoke about Luca Pellegrini from Juventus. There's another guy I'm going to talk about as well, which I think might be not a cheaper option, but an option not necessarily for the future, because I think he sees Ben Johnson as the future. But he could be a stopgap. And he could, I think Cresswell is coming to the end, bless him. Obviously he's now the most... He's the player who's been there with us the longest now. Mark Lobel's left. But I think we'll talk about that in a tick, and I think he's coming up in the last one. No, last but one. No, +2 because Randolph are least likely to go. Also, Vlasic likely and Lance. If they go, then obviously there'll be replacements in at the moment. We talk about Souček later on. Why are we keeping Masuaku? People need to buy him. We can't just get rid of him. Right, Longhello's staying. We're going to talk about that at 5 o'clock tonight. Okaflex could be leaving. I think he might go on loan. I'd put him on loan. I think he's a fantastic player. I wouldn't want to get rid of him. 4-3 or smaller fees, 3 big sides, 3 promoted. I don't let people know at the end. I did let people know at the end of the season. There we go. We must have been scouting this Jones lad. My mate's a Borough fan and says he's well decent. Well, there we go. Wasn't Jones on loan at Queen of the South? I don't think so. I don't know. Rami's looking at the biggest target for that position. Is looking like he could be special. He could be special, but he's going to come with a special price tag. I think they need to then sort of look at how everything's sort of lined up. After now, if you hope there's even talk of another right back. Well, I think we spoke about Joachim from Atalanta. Spoke about him yesterday, so there we go. Doesn't have faith in the academy. Well, 5 o'clock. Have a look at 5 o'clock, Jordan. There is reports that there two of them are getting a call up, or they're moving up into the first team squad rather than the under-23s. Joined late. We literally it's about to talk about him now. So we'll do that right now for you. Let's talk about where is it? Let's talk about Raphinha. So obviously we said that Broja is open to a move to West Ham. And now Raphinha, apparently, obviously Arsenal apparently have put an opening bid in for Raphinha, which has been rejected. And that was on Tuesday night, I believe. I think Leeds looking about 60, 65 million quid. But apparently Raphinha is reported he's still open to joining West Ham in the latest twist of the winger's transfer saga. It's going to be one of those transfer sagas that goes the whole summer, I think. Obviously, the Hammers could reignite their interest in him, having apparently attempted to sign him back in January. The Gunners are thought to be considering making a fresh bid to sign the winger, but are now facing increased competition. Spurs, Chelsea, West Ham are keeping tabs on his situation, having seen Arsenal's opening offer rejected immediately. It's claimed that he would still consider a move to West Ham, who saw obviously our attempts for him in January denied by Leeds. You look at the teams he plays, the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea like to flip their players around a bit. Spurs, but I think Spurs are buying a lot of players at the moment. If he came to West Ham, it'd be one of the first names on the team sheet. I'd love him at West Ham. It's a World Cup year as well, so he wants to be playing regular first team football to get into the Brazilian national side. It'd be amazing. So as much as I'd love him, I'm going to put 6 out of 10 because I'm a little bit realistic. Because you see some of the players we're linked with. I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool still have a look at him with Mane gone. But then with Núñez coming in, there'd be a lot of competition for his places. What we got here? If we spend money everywhere elsewhere, I'm happy to do a Dawson and get left back, get a player on loan, a short term. So I think I've got an idea. Yeah, I mean, I think there's an option there which I'll talk about in a minute. I agree with you on Knocker-Flex indeed. I'm talking about Anton's thighs. Has always gone for experience over youth. I think you have to, Jason, in the Premier League, but I think you bring them at the right time when you know they're ready, rather than put them in and. Carlos Tevez is the manager. We can talk about that later on. We're going to talk about Tagliafico very, very soon. Sorry, comment on Thogden video. Hopefully some game time. I think there will be Fresh B. We'll talk about him at 5 o'clock as well. 6.5 I think 6.5 is a good price for him. 6.5 in today's money is good. I think you get the right team around him. I think it'd be amazing. We got here. We won't get Raphinha, says Jason. Ram, Eriksson, Saar, Broja. Would people still bash Moyes and the board? Probably not, to be honest. I mean, Ram is my. I think Ram would be amazing for us, but I can't see that happening. But you never know. We are live, Dexter. I want to see Rusty's thighs covered in peri-peri sauce and baked beans. Fair enough. He has to start, but not sure where Raphinha would play. I think you'd play him on the left-hand side, wouldn't you? I think. What we got here, Aguero can play. He can play left back, but he won't be. I had a McDonald's brekkie. First time went right for him. Lovely. Thanks. Do we think we should follow Brentford in focusing on a particular country like we do? I think there's certain countries we are. It tends to be it was 3. It's Serie A, it's Liga, and it's Germany, and it's a Bundesliga. It seems those 3 we're sort of, but I don't think we've really decided which one we're going to stick with. At the moment, it's Liga. To be honest, we've Aguerd and with Areola coming in. Let's talk about Raphinha's counterpart. Let's talk about Phillips. A new report claims that West Ham and I think Aston Villa as well have made official bids for Calvin Phillips, but Leeds face pressure from the player over the move. West Ham have allegedly bid 50 million in January. Now report claims that West Ham and Villa have made an official summer bid for the player, but Leeds face pressure from Phillips over the move. According to Football Insider, West Ham and Villa have submitted their bids this summer, and it claims a recruitment source has told Football Insider that West Ham have made their intentions to sign Phillips official by making a bid. Moyes obviously wants to create the England midfield partnership of Rice and Phillips at West Ham. To me, now he's injured. He got injured the other day. I don't like it. He does get injured a little bit, but I think he's moved. I think the whole thing. I mean, he's got personally. I don't think we're gonna. I'd love him. I think him and Rice in the middle would be excellent for us and for England as well, because that partnership is playing week in, week out potentially. But I think the draw of Man City will be too much. Man City, as soon as we come in, Man City will come in and blow us out the water. Not from a like value perspective, but from a in terms of offering packages, in terms of the salary, the fact that they're going to be in the Champions League, the fact that they're going to compete for Premier League titles and stuff like that. So I've put a 6 out. I'd love him, but I just can't see it happening. Cannot see it happening at all. Right, can we see what we got here? What about Kamara from Watford as part of a triple raid? Might as well just get all the what. I mean, they all went down, innit? So might as well bring him back. Wait, sorry. Let me just do this quickly. Sorry. Is that Macca's? Is that Paul McCartney? Apart from Fornals, who was the last player we signed from Spain? It would have been I know, because Lucas Perez we signed from Arsenal, then he went to Spain. Probably Jonathan Caleri, wasn't it? Didn't we sign him? Was he at Villarreal or something like that? I think. I think if Phillips came in, the other would be more likely to follow. Maybe. I think it's one or the other. I can't see us getting both. Phillips has had injuries. He does get injured quite a bit. Anthony Mitch, hope you are my friend. What we got here, I think he's overrated, injury prone. GP, would you like Rush's thighs covered in syrup? Lovely. Philip urged to snub and move to United. Don't think go United. I think he'd go City. Hi Pat, hope you well. Freezing Canberra. God dear. Poor on you, mate. Wish we'd gone in for Basima. I don't. I think he's bad news. Bad news. But anyway, so that's what I think about Phillips. Let's move on. The next person we're going to talk about there's two more. Tagliafico. He's just spoken about this left back option. And I think this could be our left back option. In that, if we're paying big money for the likes of, say, Raphinha or Phillips or Broja, if you got Raphinha and Broja, or you got, JWP and Broja, that's £100 million. That's £90 million worth of money. Someone like Tagliafico, I think, is going to be would be a shrewd buy. Now, he's not going to be long term sort of solve for that left back position. He's 29 years old, I think he is. 29 years old, something like that. But apparently X has claimed that West Ham could sign him on the cheap in the summer. Admit past interest. We'd had past interest in him. According to a report from The Telegraph, the Hammers nearly signed him last summer for around 10 million quid. In the end, no deal materialised. However, Ajax also have announced, or are set to announce, the signing of Owen Windell, who we've spoken about as well, from AZ Alkmaar. And according to X, that means Tagliafico is going to be put on the transfer list this summer, and we could make a move for him. He's basically said, interestingly, what it does mean is that left back we've looked at previously, Nico Tagliafico, Argentinian, is apparently available for 4 million quid. The only thing is that he's 29. I think the club ideally wants to sign someone younger. I think we do want to sign someone younger, but I don't. I think that someone younger will come at a price tag. I think getting someone like Tagliafico in would actually be not bad. He's got, I think, something we miss a lot of is experience in European football. He's got that. He's played Champions League. He's played international football. And I think for 4 million quid, I think he'd be a fantastic deal. And so, although he's not technically a Moyes player in terms of, he's under the age of 20, he's over the age of 26. I think for 4 million quid, if we can get 4 million quid, absolute bargain. I'm putting a 7 out of 10 for that. I'm putting a 7 out of 10. Let's see what others say. Tagliafico, Magnifico, I like that. Got a lot of Aussies in today. All the Aussies turn up upside down to read your money. Never heard of half these players. I don't. Yeah, there we go. That's what we do, Dexter. We bring them so you can find out more. Thought Tagliafico was some sort of dish. That's Tagliatelle. He would be amazing. Would love to see this player coming in. Jazz has gone for Pellegrini. Yeah, but he hasn't really broken into the. He was meant to sign last season, but then didn't try to break into the Italian Juventus side. Hasn't broken into the Juventus side. Was Tagliafico was, and they're sort of a few years in front of what we're trying to do in terms of bringing in a player. So in terms of we're trying to bring someone to replace Cresswell eventually. I think the person to replace Cresswell will probably be Ben Johnson. I think that's what Moyes sees. So this might be a good stopgap, maybe. Wouldn't put his name on it. Would cost a oneer. Champions League for 4 million quid experience, whatever it is fantastic. I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know how you manage to scout these players. Well, we have a look. I mean, I watch a lot of Liga, so any Liga stuff or La Liga, I know, and Bundesliga I keep an eye on as well. The great thing is about everything about the Premier League, you can catch all the highlights and everything on YouTube for free. It's brilliant. 4 million is a bargain. Right, everyone's talking to each other. Will thrive if he plays alongside. Exactly, Phil. Exactly. He's better for the future. He will be better for the future, but I think and I think eventually that could be a case, but I think it's 30 million for Ram or 4 million for Tagliafico. If we get Tagliafico and then spend the other 26 million pounds on improving the midfield or the striker options or the forward options, then or even the right back options, then it could be money well spent. Don't know. We've got Ram, Balashili, Ericsson, Gallagher, Potter, Broja. If the cash is there, cost 50 million. There we go. You've done it, Mark. All done. You've all done. Right, let me quickly just go through. Everyone likes to talk. Russ likes his pancakes with baked beans and syrup. Dan, I'm not a big fan of Pate, to be honest. How about Hickory Dickory? Aaron Hickey. Again, he's someone we're looking at. So there we go. Don't forget to like, indeed. Russ, I'm Martini. Any news on Freebie? No news at the moment. Baked beans on pancakes. Ugh. What is your ideal back four for this? Money no object. Or I'd have Ram at left back, Aged, I'd have Zuma, and I would have Sufal / Ben Johnson. So I think that's it. Last play we signed from Holland. Could it be the name? Could it be the person we're going to be featuring next on our Hammers in Hot Water? Here comes the Booger Man, which will be out at the weekend. I mean, Holland, it probably would be Marco Boogers, wouldn't it? Anyway, there's one more to do, and we've mentioned that before, which is Sasa Kalajic, Stuttgart. Absolutely unit, so tall, he's unbelievable. Now, apparently, I think it was reported, where is it? It was reported the other day. This was sort of relatively new today. A reporter from Blind Sport called Marcel Reif has claimed on live TV that Sassa's moving to West Ham. He says the agreements are already in place between the two clubs and he's going to be joining West Ham very, very shortly. He's someone we've been linked to before. He's from Bundesliga. He's a big lad, but that's all we've been told. It's just random, just sort of a little bit out of left field. I don't think so. I don't think we've seen enough. I've put a 7 out of 10 because I don't know how much of a good room this is until someone disproves it. I'm sure there will be people disproving it, but just go live on TV. You have to have a bit of balls to be able to do that. But yeah, very good player. Very good player. Would be excellent in terms of our set plays. Absolutely excellent. Absolutely excellent. Right, okay, let's go for a few comments. Then I've got a skedaddle. I won't indeed. Some of these names will be hard for commentators. That's not my job. That'd be Martin's job. He can sort all that out. What we got here? What a player indeed. Some of these names would be better Scrabble scores indeed. Strawberry Sherbet is my favourite. With a link to right back, does Moyes think Johnson and Cresswell are enough in the left back position? Possibly. I think that's the case, to be honest. Ericsson wants to stay in London. Apparently so we'll see. What brand is your sweater from? It's a t-shirt and it's from Next. Although I do have some lovely new stuff from Untucket, which I'll start wearing again. Thank you, Mr. Untucket. It sent me some lovely bits and bobs. The thing that's forgotten when discussing JWP is a pre-made captain. I think an important part of why he's been targeted is he could replace Rice as captain should Declan leave in the future. But also having a couple but Moyes likes players who have been captains, who are captains at clubs, because they have that sort of leadership ability, and that's something which we don't have across the pitch. Particularly if Rice gets suspended, or don't forget Rice isn't playing for the first 2 games of the in terms of the playoffs for the Conference League, so you miss a lot of that drive. So I would see. Nathan Holland's left. He has indeed. He's gone to MK Dons, and Dan Kemp's at MK Dons as well. I like Dan Kemp. He was a great player. For us, I thought he was going to make it. But he's maybe a little bit too small. Would you take Ericsson? Without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. Milk Tray Russ climbs a mountain and delivers Anton Milk Tray if he's lucky. Who partner Souček? Who says Souček might not be here? Who knows? And it's Europa Conference League. Maybe it's Connor Coventry's giving a run out. Maybe you play Lanzini in that holding role. Maybe you play Fornals in that holding role. Who knows? As I said, tonight we have got our game show. We've got Macaron. We've got Kevin Keane. We've got Psycho. And we've got Steve Jones, all on. He's going to be right giggle. Really good fun. So please make sure you go into. If you've just joined, you're enjoying the last sort of half an hour or so, go right to the beginning. I did a little clip of the actual from the last time, just to give you an idea. We'd play Wheel of Fortune. It's all good fun. We have a real good giggle, and hopefully raise a few bob for the food banks, which is important. Which is more important at the moment. So there we go, my friends. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. It's a game show. What I'll do is I'll finish up and I'll just play that again so you see it, and then we'll do the little trailer. So take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Stay, like I say, cheeky and stay positive. And I'll play that little clip. And Anton's just turned up just as I finish. There we go. Right, where's that little video clip again, just to see what's coming up tonight.
Is it the lad who's was one of Harry's signings and am I getting there, Russ?
Mate,
Is that right?
you might be.
I know it.
If you know what it is.
His first name.
Marco Boogers.
But Kev, do you reckon it's Marco Boogers, Kev? Let's have a look. Well done, Kev. Bless you, Steve. God bless you. Right.
This is you, Jim. It's got your name on it, this one.
Yeah.
And it stinks to me, this. Just got to get one letter here, and I'm on it.
Yeah.
One letter, and that's it.
That's it.
I reckon.
I'm going to go a K.
Oh, is it a K? Is this going to give it to him? It's a K.
Oh.
That weren't Scott, anyway.
It weren't Scott. No, it weren't Scott. Or Steve. Can we spin it again,
I'm going to have
Mr.
to
Walker?
spin again. I'm going to have to spin again. Bad times.
Okay.
He's milking it. He's
Milking it. Right, come on then. I hope you misspell it now.
I'm actually not. I'm devastated. I know I should know it.
Go on then, pick a letter.
But either.
Pick a letter. Go on, Jim.
I'm going a.
Where are you going, Jim?
I'm going to M.
M for mother.
No,
I don't know it. I'm a disaster.
No. Look at see Kev. Kev move his chair forward. Kev move his chair forward.
Am I going to kick myself?
You are.
Yeah, you are. Right, come on, Kev. All right, let's spin the wheel for Kevin.
Every day.
Yeah, 500. Come on in, Kev.
Oh, tell me he's not a goalie.
I'm going for it.
H.
H.
Oh no.
Kev, do you want to guess it?
No. That's a
How
disaster.
can you stop? Let's see.
That's a disaster.
Oh, he's such a dude.
Not
as
only
well.
did he take me cup final spot, he took me cup final spot, and I didn't get him on this. He's a double whammy, man.
I know. Double.
If we change it, you know how. It's like a family tree.